Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Gemini. If Gemini is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And tonight we have the card of victory, the 6 of Wands, which is always a most wonderful and invited energy into our lives. Absolutely. Okay, and let's go ahead and see what are these tea leaves going to tell us tonight. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Also, if you want to hit the like button or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. So we have this really victorious energy, and I feel you in your passion. You are feeling so good about yourself. We have two people here talking, okay? Down here we have it looks like a child, almost kind of skipping through the grass or, you know, down the sidewalk or whatever. And to me, it feels like you found yourself in some kind of work or some kind of hobby. Maybe it's like something that a group you have joined, like a book club or, you know, like a walking group or, I don't know, like a pickup basketball games or, you know, whatever it is. I feel like it has brought you back to your childhood. There is such an excitement here. There's a feeling of like, I can't wait until work is over because I'm going to get my stuff. I'm going to change. I'm going to go to my game. I'm going to go meet my friends at the, you know, golf course or, you know, whatever it is. There's excitement. And it's maybe for the first time in quite a while that you are just like stoked about something. Okay. Now, I also wonder, because we have the 6 of Wands, I wonder if you're the one that organized this. Maybe you started the book club. Maybe you're the one that reached out to a couple of friends. Well, I know they like to go on bike rides, you know, every, you know, morning or in the afternoon or whatever. And maybe we can start meeting up on, you know, a couple days a week and we all ride together. You know, and I could see you getting into this like place in your mind where you're being the proactive organizer. You're not waiting for somebody to say, hey, I'm, you know, have this league that we're doing. Do you have any interest? No, you're going to start the league, right? You're going to start the thing because you know. It's nothing but heartbreak when we sit around and wait for something to happen. It almost never does, at least not what we want, right? So to take action, to be in the lead here, I feel like you are in your natural state and you are gleeful. You are so gleeful about it. I could like literally imagine you skipping, you know, just so happy about what's going on. And I hope that really it does stay that way because it does. It feels like this is a big moment for you. Now, we also have, it looks like a Taurus person right here. Also maybe with a name that starts with an E or possibly an M or W. Okay. And I almost feel like this is a person that I I honestly feel like this is somebody that you perceive to have like really held you back. Now we have a person here who looks like they're kind of almost dancing, right? They're dancing, but their leg is up. And this other person over here has a hold of the leg, of the foot, pulling them or stopping them from, you know, kind of, well, and I feel like it really is kind of going out and exploring life. And I feel like in this bond, there almost is this feeling of, yeah, that's the goal. Feeling like you as an individual don't even exist anymore. Now, it doesn't have to be like a romantic partner or like a spouse, although it could be. I mean, this could have been your parents. This could be, you know, a friend or somebody who really felt like they could dominate all aspects of your world, or at least the world that you had together. It made you feel probably like, you know, the things that you wanted to do, the things that you wanted to express or try or, you know, whatever, explore, that there was no room for you to do that. Maybe you felt judged. Maybe they belittled you. Maybe they said, oh, that's a stupid idea. Why would you ever do that? You know, can you imagine when you're young and hearing that, when you're like a, you know, 8-year-old, you're so excited, you're going to do this thing, you know, hey mom, hey dad, I'm going to go out to the backyard and build a tower out of, you know, I don't know, boxes and make a castle. Well, why would you do that? That's stupid. It's like heartbreaking, right? But our lives get filled with people like this if we let that happen. And I feel like you at some point realize this is not for me. It's not who I am. I'm not somebody's, you know, puppet. I'm not somebody's cheerleader. I'm not going to sit here and like watch them live their life and I have to fit in somewhere. No, I'm my own dang person. I have a lot of passion and interest and things to say, and I want to make mistakes, and I want to, you know, have little victories and have my heart broken and find things that I truly love, and I can't do that if somebody is always putting me down, telling me I don't know what I'm doing, or I can't do that, or I'll never be good enough, or, you know, the awful things that people might say to one another. And it's all about control. But you will not be controlled any longer. And I feel like you have, I imagine, that you have escaped this dynamic. And that's why, or at least partially so, why there's such a kindredness, this kind of you know, young, youthful, energetic excitement, awe, wonder, because you're out from underneath that oppressive energy. You have room to be you. And I feel like it's kind of like you don't really care what anybody has to say about anything anymore. At least negatively. And that's a beautiful place to be in. I wish, I'm trying very hard. Even starting this channel, I did not realize how sensitive I would be to, you know, some of the, it's not, the mean stuff is sometimes actually kind of funny because some of it's sort of ridiculous, but the just bizarre things that people, I mean, they come out of the woodwork to say to one another, not even just to me, you know, to each other in the comments or about my husband or about me and my husband, you know, whatever. And it's difficult to figure out how to say to yourself, this person, maybe they're hurting, maybe they don't know how to talk to people, maybe this is where they like go and purge all of their pain. You know, whatever it is. But this is a them thing, not a me thing. I think that you, though, have really begun to master this ability to not ingest or, what's the word? Internalize. Not internalize other people's SH. Right? And that's what it is. That negativity, that need to control, that need to, you know, make you feel small and to abide them. That's a them thing. Something is up with that person. That's not about you. That's them. That's their deal. And you are not going to do that emotional labor for them anymore. You are not going to be controlled by, you know, that manipulation or that abuse. I mean, it is. And so I just see a freedom. Now we have the Knight chess piece. And I would be fully lying to you if I knew what that really means. I know kind of the moves they can make, right? And I think that's the one that can do the L shape. I don't know. But I do feel like, yeah, there is a sense of courageousness. More so than there has been maybe in the past. You are taking up for yourself. You're not going to let anybody tell you nothing, right? And I like that. I like that. Also, listen, you're a Gemini, so I mean, I feel like this is your natural state. Absolutely. My daughter is a Gemini. Now, she's 4 years old, but my goodness, this kid, I was so worried about having a child in the world that we live in. And just in panic that she wasn't going to be able to take up for herself or protect herself, or, you know, maybe she'd be kind of a pushover or you know, whatever. She does not take nothing from nobody. This girl does not. You know what I'm saying? She is a sassy one, and not afraid to tell you what she thinks or feels or any of that. And I love that about Geminis. Absolutely, I do. So that's, you know, I feel like if anything, there was a moment where maybe you forgot yourself a little bit. You ended up around somebody who, you know, kind of blindsided you, or maybe it's kind of like from the environment that you came from. There was kind of this dynamic and then you found it in somebody else. But now you are breaking that cycle, okay? And you are living in your authentic being. So let's ask the Oracle. Oracle of the Radiant Sun. What is going to be the next little bit of time? What's going on in this next week or so? What do we have to look for? Okay. What are the energies? I'm going to stop where it feels right. We're going to do 3. Lust. All right. Defense. Status. All right. Now let's do 2 more. Let's do 2 more just to give me a little more clarity. Please. Egotism, birth. All right. So I feel like, here's the big deal. this person. Now, this is going back to this person again. And I wonder if they are a person who has some status somewhere in their life. Maybe they have like a big fancy job. Maybe they're well known. Maybe even within the family, they're like the golden child, whatever. Okay. This is another aspect of what you've been through that's made it maybe a little difficult at times. Right? This is a person where it's like they can do no wrong. And that's where the defenses are up. Okay? But I also feel in their egotism. I mean, just, you know, this is somebody who just, they believe their own stuff. Right? They're so full of themselves. This is a narcissist. But it puts you, I think that it puts you on your defense. But you know, all that being said, I feel like as you are in this birth process of your new life, of how things are going better than you could have even imagined, okay, yeah, I feel like there's kind of this feeling of lust. And I feel like it's almost kind of this renewed sensuality in your life. You maybe thought for a while there, maybe I'm not really that physical of a person, or maybe I'm just not somebody who has like dwells in their, you know, sensuality a lot. Maybe it's not something that I'm as interested in anymore. But I think as you get further away from this person, you start to realize a lot of it is the circumstances. The person that you're around, they're draining your vitality, right? And how can you be a physically expressive person if you have somebody that's treating you poorly, putting you down, trying to control you, and stealing your vitality, really, like an energy vampire, right? And so as you have escaped that dynamic, I feel, yeah, there's a rise in the lust, in the want to connect with somebody. Maybe even with self, right? Exploring your relationship with yourself. Physical, emotional, spiritual, all of it. But it could be, yeah, that you are feeling drawn to other people. And like, that might even be super surprising to you. You know, because it's maybe not something you have even dwelled in a lot recently or in the last years. So I do feel like this is like a new beginning in a lot of ways. Okay. Now we do have the anchor here. We have the anchor. We have a kite. We have a person near the moon. I saw the moon last night. It was bright red. It was, you know, it looked like an orange slice. It was wild. My husband and I were getting ready to go to bed, and I went out to the kitchen, and when I was walking back from the kitchen, I looked out the window and I saw this big red thing. I thought, what the heck is that? What is that? And I went to go look, and it was the moon. And I said, babe, come out here. And he said, babe, I just got in bed. And I said, babe, come out here. Please, please. And he did. And then we just sat there and like stared at it for like 20 minutes. We were like just in awe of it. It was beautiful. But symbolically, right, when we see a person next to the moon, this might be a place of kind of really going into those kind of, yeah, darker spiritual places. Doing some of that shadow work, you know. And I think all this makes sense because it is that you are going through a rebirth process. But that doesn't mean that you just leave everything behind. So I think that you are working through some difficult stuff, okay? Some of those blockages. And yes, the mother, She waxes and wanes. She's always shifting. She changes day by day, just like we do. But she's always there for you. Okay? And so I feel like you feel very supported through this part of your journey. Now we have the Kite. So I know that there's been quite a bit of daydreaming happening. You've been in your mind a lot. And I think that's not a bad thing at all. Just be wary of overthinking and especially ruminating. Okay? Do not get fixated on little aspects of the past, especially if it is that you are out of this relationship. And, you know, a person like that wants to control you, that wants to kind of run everything and, you know, be in charge of the whole environment, they've always got their tentacles. Even if you don't see them, they're still there. Or at least they're trying to get it back in, right? So be conscious of not just romanticizing the past, be cautious of the nostalgia, the sentimentality, and really just looking at some of the stuff with really rose-colored lenses, okay? Because it's easy to forget the worst parts. It's easy to forget even just the day in and day out conflicts, the little bickering, and, you know, just all of that stuff. So yeah, even maybe write a list. When you start to get to that point where you're thinking, well, maybe I should just like text them. It would be really nice to have somebody to kind of like watch the show with. This was a show we loved together or whatever. Then you have a list to remind you why I am not going back, why this person doesn't belong in my life, and refer to it as often as you need. Okay? Now, I feel like you're not going to be long without really finding a place that you want to set down roots again. You might even meet somebody because we have the anchor. I wonder if you might meet somebody. I don't know. But I do feel like you getting into a place where, yeah, you want to be here for longer. I see myself living here for the next, 5, 10, 15, rest of my life, whatever. This is where I want to be. And so I see you finding your peace, finding your place, finding the right thing, okay? It's not going to be long off. And I just keep feeling like it's like your family, your ancestors. Also, listen, the wolf. You can see the wolf right here howling at the moon. You can't see the moon, but yeah, you come from a family of they feel like wolves for some reason, not in a bad way, like just in a very protective, primal, warriors, all of them. Your family's just really, powerful people. And I think seeing you in this kind of relationship or in this dynamic, they wanted to fix things for you, but they can't. Nobody can come in and force you to leave somebody or to make different decisions or whatever. But I do feel like in this transformation that you are going through, I feel like you really have a lot of love and support from your ancestors, your elders, and your family that are here manifest in their corporeal bodies, alive basically, right? And involved. So I see that bond getting stronger. The further you get out of this relationship, the stronger your bond is with your people. So we're going to do our Cincy Child affirmation cards. I'm going to go ahead, flip on through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. I set appropriate boundaries and respect them. I set appropriate boundaries and respect them. Yes. All right, Gemini, I'm going to tell you I love you because I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you want to subscribe, like, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. It's also free to subscribe. And if you're new to the channel, definitely shout it out in the comment section. Yeah, I guess that's it. So Gemini, I love you, I love you, I love you. Take care of yourself. And we'll talk in a few days. Good night, good night, good night.